just went and got my blood taken at the hospital. I was told to do it yesterday, but it was a bit later in the day and I didn't have the energy, so put it off till today. Got in there. They were doing number 89. They handed me my number, which was 90. I sat down for about 5 seconds and they called me in. And then I was in there for about 10 seconds, maybe more like 30 seconds, while he took my blood and admired my nits, and then told me I should exhibit at craft fairs, and then I was out again, and I basically just spent £2 to park. I arrived at 13:22. What time is it now? I don't know, but I spent more time in the car park. I can guarantee I spent more time in the car park than anywhere else. Just the way the cookie crumbles, but I'm fingers crossed that the blood tests will come back maybe tomorrow. Well, they'll be on my report. But yeah, he said that if I'd come in yesterday, they were queuing out of the building, which is crazy because you have to walk about a quarter of a mile to get to the staircase for the pathology area, and then it's a flight of stairs, and they have a full waiting room, which would probably have about 30 people in it at the moment at full capacity, because they've had to mark off chairs to keep people distant. So that's crazy. And he said it was all day people queued outside into the car park. So I'm really lucky that I chose to come today. Got this one annoying hair. Hello chaps and chapesses. My hair is now behaving, so I think we can get started. Today was another slow day in terms of fun Christmas things. But you can probably see over there all my advent bags, because I said that I was going to take pictures of each of the advent calendars up to from day 1 to day 7. So that's what I've just been doing, which I'll put in a minute. Yeah, I worked as usual, and then I went to the hospital, which was pretty uneventful. And the only thing that I've got to show you finished objects wise today is another Christmas ball, because I haven't done any more crafting. The balls take so much time that I've not had much chance to do crafting of any other stuff. I opened my calendars again today because I decided I quite like doing it like that, because this setup is probably a bit better than just seeing like disembodied hands rummaging through, and also then you don't get to see how ridiculously stupid I am when it comes to hunting for the numbers on the advent calendars. Lauren, why don't you just leave the doors open? Because it looks messy, okay? It looks messy and I don't like it. So anyway, I've done all of the opening, so one sec. That's better. Okay, they were all in a paper bag and it was going to rustle every time I opened it, so instead I've just tipped them all out on the desk in front of me. Why didn't I think of this before? So let's get started with needle and thread. So yesterday we had that amazing orange and green, and I think it had bits of purple in it as well, which I loved. And it's safe to say that today's was equally exciting. So here we go. You see that colour properly? I'll hold it up here because the light is making it blow out, but there. Focus. Not on my hand, on the yarn. Oh, it's so lovely. beautiful. Very autumnal. Again, it reminds me of squash or gourds. And I love it. I just like how it's sitting happily. Looks like it might micro stripe, which would be really nice. Next was Nora George yarns. And I'll put the name of the yarn here again because I like doing that. It makes me look like I know what I'm doing. It's like it's a neutral with blue and then some rusty speckles. It's nice. Reminds me of like a stormy sky. Dalton Borderlessers, who I called West Yorkshire Spinners yesterday, and I didn't even notice, even though I watched the video back several times whilst I was editing. It's not West Yorkshire Spinners. It's Dalton Borderlessers. Yeah, this is lovely. It's like kind of chartreusey, but also a bit pistachio, which I love. And this one this calendar doesn't seem to be following any kind of pattern in terms of the colour order, but you could definitely arrange them into a rainbow. I think that the calendar is just going to be a mini of every single one of their colours that they offer at the moment. And I asked for a contrast colour as well, so it would be good to make something with. Something, it'll be a shawl, won't it? Because it's going to be 200 grams ish. No, hang on a minute. If these are 20 grams, that's 480 grams, and then 100 grams of contrast. What could I do with that? I'm going to need to go on Ravelry and find out what I can do with that. That's Betty. You've not heard her before. It's usually Safi. But again, I've shut them out and they're protesting. Final yarn calendar. Oh my god. This one is just perfect. It's everything. Betty. Anyway, this. Yes. Too bright. Too dark. Ooh. There. Focus. I mean, yesterday I said that there's not enough purples and greens coming out considering the colourway I chose, and this came good in the end. Like, I'm so happy. And the phlebotomist that took my blood today at the hospital said his favourite colour was purple and that he liked my scarf because it was purple. And I was like, yeah, my favourite colour is purple too. You might be able to tell from the fact that I'm wearing a purple cardigan, a purple scarf, a purple t-shirt. And continuing on the purple theme, French Earl Grey. Earl Grey gets a French twist. What's a French twist? Which is oh so fruity, a medium-bodied black tea based with pretty petals and notes of fruit that play with classic bergamot in an inspiring, bold and refined infusion. Fruity and petals, and it's French. Lavender? That would go with the purple. Hang there a second. I'm back. I'll read it on the back of here. French Earl Grey, it says hibiscus or hibiscus, natural and artificial bergamot flavouring, natural and artificial flavouring, sunflower petals, rose petals and mallow flowers. Okay. Fairy muffins. So all that leaves, why am I meant to put my glasses on. I've already got glasses on. What's up with that? So yeah, what is left to say other than I've finished another ball. I feel like I'm in a spotlight here, like not a spotlight, a searchlight, you know, like when robbers get caught and they're like, ah, that's what I feel like every time I pop back up and that light's in my face. But it makes the picture look better, so I'm sorry. You can see my ugly face in all HD. Anyway, here is the next ball. It's called Ivy. I don't think that they look like ivy. They just look like lovely leaves, but I don't care. It's quite an old-fashioned, not old-fashioned because that makes it sound like out of fashion, but it's vintage. It's like a nice vintage traditional bit of foliage, really. Yeah, chuffed with that. And they're all pretty consistently coming out about half the size of my face, so at least my gauge is good. So that's number 7 in the bag. So I'm about a third of the way through now. Treat you due to my chins there. Yeah. And yeah, I will put pictures of today's advents and then pictures of the weekly recap of advents in when the music plays out. So that's it from me today. I'll see you tomorrow. Goodbye.